I kind of describe it like an inside massage. I go in and, okay, for instance, I had this client, and I stood there in front of him, and I told him exactly what was closed and what was wrong with him, and his wife didn't even know. And when I was doing this to him, he's like, holy cow. And you loosen up, like he had a kink in his neck, and I loosened that up for him, which what I call like an inside massage. And you just go in there and you loosen up with, clear out a person. I had one guy do it for me. I met on the computer, and before I even got into the Reiki. And all of a sudden he said, you're going to be feeling fingers on your neck in a minute. And I actually did. Man, did I get off the computer with him. Wow. But, yeah. Because, like, I have worked on people over the computer, I've worked on people over the phone, and, it makes them feel better. It gets rid of what's bothering them. Like, if they have a migraine, you go in there and, you work on the migraine somewhat, and, it usually helps them.
Well, I have a headache. Can you do something while we're talking?
And you know what? A lot of people have headaches and they don't realize it's from stress, Pam.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been stressed, so.
Yeah, from everything before coming on the show. But honestly, it really works, and it really helps a lot of people.
Oh, I'm
That's
sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to do that someday. But for our listeners, if they want to get a reading or a Reiki or, something from you, a past life regression, I almost said aggression, how do you set that up? Do you meet in person for, like doing all your readings, or can you do that over the phone as well?
Yeah, I do it over the phone, I do it over the computer, and I do it in person, depending where I'm at. Right now, Tanya has me down in Oklahoma for a month. I'm leaving next Wednesday. I'm going to be down there. And then, as she said, I go, well, we're going to go to Missouri, and now Texas, she just said, and then back to Oklahoma. And then when we're done there, I go on to Florida. So I'm going to be floating around. If anybody in those areas need readings, that's great. But usually I will do them over the phone, and I do parties over the phone also.
You should make a quick pit stop through Atlanta on your way to Florida.
I go to Atlanta all the time because my mom lives in Florida, and I go down to Florida all the time.
Oh, awesome.
I'm in Tennessee, just to let you know.
Oh, that's not too far for me, yeah.
No, you're only 6 hours from me. I have it down to a pat.
Well, you should go over there, Sabina, so that way you can see, and talk to Mary. That would be great to meet her in person and be able to get a reading like that. I think it's easier sometimes when you have, a certain amount of time that you've arranged, instead of doing things over the phone like we're going to do in a few minutes, because with callers on hold, you only have a few minutes with each one. But if you make an appointment with Mary, then, you get more time. Do you go by like a half hour? Do you go like an hour? What are your time spans, and what do you charge for that?
Well, I go every 15 minutes. 15 minutes is $30, and then you go to half an hour, and that's $60. Then you go 45, which is $90, and then 60 is $120.
Okay.
And then I have email readings. I have clients who, don't want to talk, but they just want email readings. There's a lot of things that you can do now.
Right. Yeah. Thank God for technology. Now, another question I have is, when you are doing a reading with somebody in person or even over the phone, are you able to tape that for them?
Actually, they can tape whatever they want to tape, and no, I have not had any requests to tape it for them and send it to them.
Okay. Okay, the reason I asked is because I used to go to one many years ago. I used to go every single year because she was like beyond accurate. She would actually, it would give me chills, knowing how accurate she was, and even the things that she talked about coming up in the future, and you kind of just put it in the back of your head, but then when it happens, you're like, oh yeah, she did say that. But if you forget, you can also go back and choose to tape the session, and I would go back and listen to it every now and again, and then it would click, oh yeah, that did happen, or I should watch out for this, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's funny because whenever I'm with somebody in person, they can tape whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I tell you, my daughter has got a really good memory. She's psychic also, but she's scared of it. And I've been reading for her for a while. And I told her a couple of years ago, they moved up here about 7 years ago. And my son-in-law had gotten a truck about 2-3 years after they moved up here. And I told her, I said, he's going to crash the truck. He's going to total it. But he's going to walk away from it. And she's like, well, if he's going to total that truck, how is he going to walk away from it? I said, I don't know. He's just going to walk away from it. He's not even going to have a scratch. Well, this January, we got hit with a tornado. So he decided he was going to try to go to work. And a couple blocks away from his house, he totaled his truck by running into a tree. He got out of his truck, and he walked away from it. My daughter called me up. She goes, oh, my God, Mom, you were so right. He walked away from it, and not a scratch on him, and she was, totally freaked out.
Thank God. But you'd think your daughter would be used to this by now with growing up in the same home as a mother that's a psychic medium and so forth.
Well, let me tell you, my grandson now has decided, her son, that he wants to play football. And I told her he needs to watch his leg because I feel he may break his leg. So he just started football, and every day at practice she's like, please don't let him break his leg. But, I've had a lot of people who really get into the readings that they remember. And another example is I have somebody who lives right there in Illinois, and I told her that her husband was going to have a yellow crane come into his work, or a white crane, I'm not sure. And she said, well, he only works with either the yellow or white, and I told her the opposite, and she's like, you're wrong, right. What happens? Here comes that crane that I told her was going to come into his yard. Now, I told her she'd better watch that crane because it was going to drop a pile of something very close to her husband. He came home and he said, do you remember that crane that Mary said that was going to come into my yard? She said, yeah. He goes, well, it did. And I no sooner walked into the office, right where I was standing before I went into the office, they dropped a whole AC unit.
Oh, my gosh.
So, there are a lot of customers that actually remember this, and even without, writing it down. But I do encourage people to write it down when we're on the telephone, and I do, I don't mind if they record it, whatever. But I did have a woman call me the other day, and she told me that she's a new customer of mine. She's had 2 readings with me, and 2 or 3. And she told me the other day, she goes, Mary, I want to make an appointment with you before you go to Oklahoma. She said that you are so freaky accurate, so freaky awesome. I'm scared. But she set up an appointment for next week, and actually tomorrow. So I'm going to be reading, for her again. So it's just like.
Well, I'm sure you get a lot of repeat customers once they get over their either, fright, or if they don't exactly believe, they're skeptical or something, and once you do your first reading, that they return to you again and again.
Right, and that's what happened with a guy that I did the Reiki on and stuff. I read for him. Actually, we had a seance in his house and freaked the crap out of him.
Oh,
and
my
he
God.
said, you know what? I'm 110%. Believer now. He said, you sold me. And I did not really believe it at first.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, before we go ahead and pick up our callers that we have on hold, anybody that wants to get a hold of Mary, check out her website. It's marybarrett.org, and Barrett is with 2 R's and 2 T's. And, if you want to contact her, you can contact her there. There's a store there. She's also an author of 2 books, Psychic Talk and Psychic Talk number 2. Is there going to be a Psychic Talk number 3?
Technically, it's not going to be Psychic Talk number 3, but I am working on my 3rd book.
Okay.
I also sell hypnosis tapes on my site, too, for people who are interested in that.
Now, is that something that you can use sort of like meditation?
Yes. Like, let's say you're having test anxiety, which I did, and I had bought somebody's test anxiety self-hypnosis tape, and it worked. I went from making, 30s and 40s and 50s on tests to making 100, 106s on tests.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I needed that. I needed that back in the day. That was in school.
Yeah, no, I could use something like that, like at night when I'm trying to relax to go to bed and my brain doesn't turn off, and then, of course, I have all my aches and pains, and I'd like to listen to something that would help me relax and be able to sleep and have a peaceful night.
That would help.
Well, then I'm going to check that out after the show. So if you're ready, Mary, we will go ahead and take our first caller who's been patiently waiting for over an hour, and I do appreciate all of our callers that are waiting. First one up is going to be Tracy. Tracy, go ahead. You're live with Mary.
Hello.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Hey, Pam. Hey, Sabina. How are you doing?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, Mary, I have a question for you, or a few. I don't know if you can do all that because I know we're short on time. Oh, my God. Now I'm nervous.
Okay, no, that's okay. Tell me where you're located.
Sunrise, Florida.
You're in where in Florida?
Sunrise. South Florida.
Sunrise.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's close to
I used to
Fort
live in the
Lauderdale.
Tampa Bay area.
Oh, okay. Sunrise is about 4 hours south from Tampa.
Oh, okay. And I'm coming there. You need to come to Orlando. It's the 25th, 26th, and 27th of October.
We're probably going to hit up horror nights then, so I'll probably swing through.
Oh, that'd be great. Okay, take a deep breath and just ask me what your question is.
Okay, my question is that I just got married a little bit ago, and we're wanting to get started with our family, and I wanted to know how things were going to be progressing in that area.
Just don't try too hard. I feel like if you put your worries aside and just let nature take its course, you're going to be all right.
Okay.
Just don't get yourself all upset and bring, negativity towards you, because it's like the more you want, the more uptight you get, the more you stop the process from happening. So just take a nice deep breath, relax, and everything will be fine.
Do you know around what time frame this could be happening? I'm trying to schedule it around my job, so I can be off for the summer. Not take any time off.
Timing is in God's time, but I don't think you're going to have all that much of a wait.
Huh.
And then you're going to have 12 kids?
No.
Just relax and let nature take its course. It's going to happen. It's just going to have to take, you calm down and just, don't overdo it, and you'll be fine.
Okay, because I'm like a planner, and I like to test for the ovulation and whatever, but I don't know. I tend to worry a lot. You're right.
Yeah, don't worry. Just calm down because I feel in you like that. Let's do this.